What is your American dream?
I'm from China, and my American dream is to do the works I intended to do in this interesting place and communicate with other people from all over the world.
I'm from India. My American dream is to enjoy this inclusiveness and freedom of America and have fun while it lasts.
I'm from New York, and my American dream is for everyone to be able to make the most of themselves.
I'm from Belgium. The American dream for me, for living in New York, would be ideal to have a house that looks nice but is not too expensive, and work in Manhattan, have a major salary, to have a bit of money at the side for health insurance, because you never know, you might get into trouble.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Fri-Yay, January 15th, and somewhere out in the internet world, through wires and some other stuff that we have no idea how this whole thing works, like how we get in your computer. We don't know, but we do. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, do you have any idea how we get in other people's phones and computers?
No.
No idea.
Not at all.
I don't have any idea either. How does this even work?
The cloud.
How does this even work? I just know there's wires. They say 3, 2, 1, and boom, we're in somebody's telephone, we're in their computer, we're in their tablet.
Crazy.
That's
Crazy. But you know what? When I was growing up in the 70s, I still couldn't figure out how, Bobby Brady got into my television and how, Arnold got into my television either. So, this has been perplexing me for 50 years already.
Right.
Yeah, it's and on.
Yeah, and and I said, maybe I should be an engineer. But instead, I decided to go to law school instead, and here I am. Other than that, I would be doing Bradshaw Live telling people how electronics work.
Right.
Which
That
w-
turned out swaggy for you, though, Brad.
So
It turned out well.
So it worked out. It worked out for everybody but me because I still can't figure out how we get into somebody's computer. It bothers me. Does that bother
Well,
you at all?
look-
Do you stay up at night wondering how this whole thing works?
No, I don't.
You not at all.
No.
That-
I just look forward to telling people to share it and share some more and other people to not know how the wires work and just connected. Stay connected.
All right, let's say hello to the squad, shall we? Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed, squad up, my loves. Violet Blackwood, squad up, how are you? Dion Reed, squad up. Willie L. Williams, squad up, hey, hey. And Abiudin Jumeau, squad up, everyone in the house. How are you? And Elizabeth Francis, squad up. TK Jabber Jallo, you look great, Uncle Brad. Thank you very much, TK.
That's actually really nice.
That is very nice. I look
Especially
great,
on your
right?
Friday casual look.
You know what? It's Fri-Yay. I'm getting a compliment.
It's a great start.
Great start. I mean, I don't know if it can get better than this. What do you think? Can it?
I think it can.
You think it can? All right, let's
I
continue
do.
then. Because I was about to say, I just got a compliment and I'm ready to go home.
Oh no.
Right. That's it. That's what we were here for.
All right, let's continue and see if we
Let's
can
do
even
it.
do it better. All right, Violet
Yeah.
Blackwood, squad up. Stacey Ann Taylor, squad up. Gabby Taylor. Is Gabby Taylor and Stacey Ann Taylor related? They were back to back, two Taylors. But that's a common name, so who knows? Tally on YouTube. Happy Fri-Yay, Brad Squad and Deanna Vitalis squad up. All right, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, what do you got to say?
Absolutely. All right, you guys already know, squad. I gotta let you guys know to share. This is all platforms. That's Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All right. So now remember, we're gonna start schmoozing real soon with Brad. He's gonna fill us in on the latest news, including an update on the U.S. Census and undocumented immigrants.
And we'll be talking fun Friday stories, including rapper Missy Elliott, who made a bride's dream come true. I love Missy. Can't
Wow,
wait to get
I
into
love
that.
Missy.
And of
Yes.
course, if you need to reach me for any reason, you could always call us at Spar and Bernstein on 1-800-529-5465. Not surprising, it's the same exact number to get on our show, Brad Show Live, to get your immigration questions on this Fri-Yay. But in the meantime, I think we got to start schmoozing with Brad.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I gotta really say, I gotta start schmoozing with myself, maybe. We're schmoozing with the squad. I'm talking in the third
Speak
person.
in
That's
third
schmooze
person,
with Brad.
right.
It's not.
We're supposed to say it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's got to go back to you
Yeah.
Yeah.
for Monday. Let's do that. Do it that way.
Yeah.
It's
we'll-
Friday. Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's practice over the weekend.
Production meeting
I'm
right
gonna
here.
call you over the weekend. Well, 2, 3, 4 hours of practice. I think we'll be able to get it down.
Wow. That's
believe.
a lot of practice.
It's a lot. Well, we want to make sure we have it perfect.
Right.
All
We
right.
will. We better.
I want to make sure.
24 hours,
I want
we
to
better.
I want to make sure we have it perfect. Meanwhile, NPR. This is some good news for immigrants. Donald
Right.
Trump was asking the census to count all of the undocumented immigrants in each state. It was ultimately found illegal. Undocumented immigrants actually are getting counted as part of the census. The census apportions congressmen. It apportions money from Congress that they give out to individual states in grants or block money. It also determines the Electoral College. And Donald Trump was trying to carve out immigrants and people who are undocumented and keep them out of the census. It was ultimately illegal. The Constitution actually says that every 10 years we will count every person. Doesn't say every American. Doesn't say every American and legal resident. It says every person.
Right.
Period. And last I checked, undocumented immigrants are people too. Sometimes not treated like people, sadly. But they are people too, as
But they
equal
count.
as me and you, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. And I
Absolutely.
mean that, sincerely. So that's good. So now the
And
census,
they do that every 10 years?
every 10 years they do the census, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Trump issued a memo that he wanted to, if you remember, Trump issued a memo back in July that he wanted to count undocumented immigrants and siphon them off from the census. And the Supreme Court came out and said that was illegal. Meanwhile, this is very trifling, Yo-Yo, to use your words.
Yes.
The pro-Trump mob that stormed the U.S. Capitol. When originally we thought it was kind of spontaneous mob craziness, storming the Capitol, but apparently a lot of this was planned, and even some wanted to capture and assassinate some of our elected officials, including our Vice President Mike Pence.
Wait, what?
This came out in a motion that prosecutors filed late Thursday night in the case against Jacob Chansley. He's the guy who dressed as with the horns and the painted face.
Right.
And you thought it was like kind of
Braveheart.
you thought it was kind of comical, but he is one of the leaders of QAnon, which is this. It turns out, which is the movement that says that that Trump won the election and it was all rigged, and the Democrats are child molesters, and every time you order a pizza from this Washington pizza restaurant, some child gets abducted. I mean, some crazy things. He's one of the leaders of QAnon, and he apparently he's a drug addict. He's a bit delusional, but people are following him, and he has anointed himself some sort of shaman and some sort of religious figure, and that was really, he was being serious. He wasn't trying to make a joke of this, at least from his perspective. That was his religious attire.
Wow.
Now, prosecutors say that this guy Chansley climbed up on the dais where Vice President Mike Pence had been presiding moments earlier, and Chansley wrote a threatening note to Mike Pence saying, "It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming." Prosecutors wrote in their memo that there is strong evidence, including Chansley's own words and actions at the Capitol, supports that the intent of the Capitol rioters were to capture and assassinate elected officials in the United States government.
Wow.
Now Chansley's lawyer was on CNN the other night, and I watched him, and he said that Donald Trump should actually pardon all of these rioters. He was asking on CNN for Donald Trump to pardon these guys. He says because the lawyer was saying, listen, they came at your request, they stormed the Capitol at your request. They're now being prosecuted as terrorists, as people who tried to overthrow the United States government. You should be pardoning them because they were following you.
Wow. What do you feel about that as a lawyer?
What do I feel?
Because
about that?
I mean, Trump did ask these people to come out. He did say
I would, as an American citizen, I would be livid beyond belief if they get pardoned. Okay, as an attorney, you take every avenue to get your client off. So in other words, I wouldn't take the case, because also as an attorney, you have the right to reject a case. So that is not this guy Chansley is not a man that I would ever want to represent.
Right.
And if he came to me doesn't matter if it was millions of dollars, I would say, sorry, you got to find a new lawyer. It's not somebody. No way. It's not what Spar and Bernstein does. Not what Brad Bernstein does. But somebody took the case, and somebody's. I don't think this lawyer is a pro bono lawyer. So somebody's paying him. I don't know where. I don't know who, but somebody's paying these lawyers, and they're doing their job, which is to do everything possible to get their client off.
You know what also came to mind? Because obviously the feds are the ones who knew this, so that means that I feel like officials also knew this back then. Meaning Pence knew that they were trying to assassinate him, but then you remember they were trying to call him a hero for not listening or doing what Trump wanted. And I feel like he's like, no, these people try to assassinate.
No, he wasn't called a hero. He was called a hero for not doing what Trump requested.
That's what I said.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. proves even more that he's not a hero, because he knew that these people were trying to assassinate him. You know, like I think I'm just going back to the fact that I feel like people throw that hero word out way too easy. You know, because he definitely wasn't a hero for, you know, following, like we said, for actually obeying the law. But these people were trying to assassinate him, so of course he wasn't going to try and help them.
Well, they were trying to assassinate him because he wasn't following what Donald Trump asked him to do. So in that particular sense, you would say, well, you know, he risked his life to follow the law. I still don't think he is any sort of a hero. I do believe that many people knew exactly what was going to be happening that day. It was no shock when people started marching on the Capitol. They had guns, they had bombs, they had zip ties, they had knives, they had tasers. It was a pre-planned event. It was absolutely pre-planned. I don't know who planned it, but it was definitely pre-planned, and I believe it goes all the way to the top. Donald Trump knew it was going to happen.
We learn more as we go.
That is right.
I don't understand how there wasn't a bunch of rubber bullets flying. The fact that I've been to peaceful protests and they were shooting peaceful protesters with rubber bullets.
Because someone in the federal government was in on it.
Right.
Like Blake.
That changes things.
That changes
Didn't
things.
even try to hide it.
Yeah.
That's
Some were. I'm not saying everybody. It was a small minority, but some people definitely were in on it. We'll find out more. Meanwhile, thank God Wednesday can't come fast enough. Trump is leaving Wednesday morning. He will not be going to Joe Biden's inauguration. It will be the first time in a very long time that a sitting president does not go to the inauguration of the next president. He has decided instead he is going to take a helicopter and have a 21-gun salute, a color guard, a red carpet send-off, and then goodbye off to Mar-a-Lago. But he will not sit at Joe Biden's inauguration.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. We'll be good.
No, that's fine.
Right.
We'll be good. He wasn't invited to all these funerals that happened during his presidency. Look, it
says a lot.
He doesn't.
It says a lot.
We know he don't attend events.
It says a lot that he's not invited to anything. Meanwhile, President-elect Joe Biden has unveiled a $1.9 trillion proposal to boost the U.S. economy, dubbed the American Rescue Plan, the ARP. It includes beefed up stimulus checks, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Come on.
Come on, stimulus. Enhanced unemployment aid, eviction moratoriums, assistance for small businesses, states, and schools. And the detailed plan will be one of the first tests of Biden's power. We'll see how quickly he can pass it. Meanwhile,
I saw something about student aid too.
Yeah.
Listen, please, Sally Mae has been knocking at my door for years. I want her to stop.
She is not a nice lady. That's Sally Mae.
She's not.
Not a nice lady. Meanwhile, in September 2017, I don't know if you saw this, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner moved into Washington's Kalorama neighborhood. It's a very elite neighborhood, and it's home over the years to cabinet secretaries and former presidents. The Washington Post reports that since then, the government has spent $3,000 a month, $100,000 to date, to rent a basement studio with a bathroom from the neighbor of Ivanka and Jared so the Secret Service can use a bathroom. Ivanka and Jared would not let any Secret Service people use their own toilet. A White House spokesman denied that Trump and Kushner restricted agents from their 5,000 square foot, 6-bedroom, 6.5 bathroom home. There was no bathroom for them.
Wow.
No bathroom for them. The account is disputed by law enforcement officials familiar with the situation, who said the agents were kept out at the family's request. I'm sorry, the account is not disputed by law enforcement officials, who said the agents were kept out of the family's request. A spokeswoman for the Secret Service initially declined comment, writing that the agency does not discuss the means, methods, or resources. But on Thursday evening, 8 hours after the story appeared online, the spokeswoman sent a second statement saying that the Secret Service tries to have minimal impact on households it protects. Stephanie Winston Wolkoff's book, Melania and Me. Now, remember, Stephanie, this is another toilet story. Crazy with Trump and toilets. Now, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, she was Melania's chief of staff. And she wrote a book, Melania and Me, The Rise and Fall of My Friendship with the First Lady. And Wolkoff dealt how Melania didn't want to move to the White House right away because she didn't want to have to use the same toilet as former First Lady Michelle Obama, and was waiting for the bathroom. Yep, and was waiting for the bathroom to be renovated. So I guess bathroom snobbery runs into this family, and they think their SHIT don't stink.
That's interesting insight. Oh, that makes
Why
sense
haven't
now.
we?
Julian, I mean, you can't wait for the show to be over, man. Come on.
We should have been had that sound anytime we said Trump or Orange Man. That's all we should have heard.
By the way, Jilly, can we like ask Julian to run the TriCaster outside of the bathroom area next on Monday?
Please.
He brought the whole TriCaster into the toilet. You know, like some people like to bring in their laptop.
You don't want to skip a beat.
Yeah. Come on, Julian, man.
That's hilarious.
It's
That
these
is-
pop-ups. It's
That's
Friday will
hilarious.
get you.
You know, some people like to read the newspaper on the toilet. Some people like to bring a book. You know, they bring their laptop or their iPad. Julie brought the whole TriCaster right into the toilet, and he's doing the show from the bathroom. A whole show.
We're gonna bring a whole live show.
Yeah. Meanwhile, coronavirus is still happening, guys. I don't know if you're aware. There is coronavirus, a pandemic. By the time Biden is sworn in as president next week, more than 400,000 people are going to be dead in the United States.
Oh my God.
Some hospital systems are now completely overwhelmed. Healthcare workers are scrambling to find places to store remains. Biden is going to end the vaccination program right now. It's called Operation Warp Speed. It has been far from warp or speed.
Right.
It has really been Operation Turtle, slow as we go, basically, because nobody seems to be able to get a coronavirus shot. So Biden is going to be renaming it's no longer going to be called Operation Warp Speed. I think it's going to be called, I forgot what it's called. It's not in my cards, but he's ending Operation Warp Speed and calling it something else. And I'll let you know on Monday what it's being called. I forgot what it's being called.
Yeah, we need to get these vaccinations out.
Right. It's called the National Vaccine Distribution Plan. My apologies. It's on my next card.
Okay.
Yeah, so Biden outlined the pillars of the administration's COVID-19 vaccination distribution plan. He's going to vaccinate 50 million people with 100 million doses of coronavirus within the first 100 days of his administration, which would make it through February, March. By the end of April, we'll have about 20% of America vaccinated.
And I really believe that he will do it. I believe that he will.
Yeah, I mean, I think 20% of America vaccinated in 90 days is too slow. I think if Donald Trump and his administration was really prepared, we would have had much more people, many more people vaccinated by the end of March, April. We were expecting by March, April that everybody would be eligible for a vaccination.
Right.
And that's not going to happen at least now till the summer.
I always, like, in the back of my mind, I'd be wondering if Trump actually was trying to sabotage him. It was like, hey, let's just, not really give too many people vaccinations. So, like, when Biden comes into office, it's just like a shit show and he has to deal with all of this. Do you feel like...
I think before the election, he didn't really care. And then after the election, there may be some validity to what you're saying. But it's Fri-Yay. It's Fri-Yay. Let's just have some Fri-Yay news. Let's have some Fri-Yay news.
Yeah, please. Spice it up. Spice it up.
Yeah, a creative prankster in Peoria, Illinois hired an artist to paint a Soviet-style mural of Cookie Monster on the side of a building he claimed to own. The only problem is he doesn't own the building. Nate Comte, the real owner of the commercial building, was none too pleased to show up to find a giant Cookie Monster on the side of his building. He called up local artist Joshua Hawkins, who had painted the mural over the holiday weekend, and said, "Are you the one who painted my effing building?" Comte had gotten the artist's number from business cards he handed out to passers-by during the project. Hawkins was shocked. As far as he knew, it was Comte who had commissioned the mural in the first place. The artist was very suspicious when he was approached last month by a man who identified himself as Nate Comte and offered to pay him to paint a mural on the side of his building. Hawkins recalled, he said he remembered me from an art show a year or two ago, and that's where I met him. I didn't really think much of it. Now, the fake owner of the building sent Hawkins an image of the mural he wanted painted. The Russian text reads, "Peace, land, and cookies." Hawkins said it was a bit of a weird image, but some of my paintings are kind of weird, so maybe that's how I captured his eye. Now, the fake landlord met Hawkins in person the day after Thanksgiving, supplying the paint and the promised fee. Meanwhile, the real Comte has already painted over the Cookie Monster mural, outraging many residents. Now Comte says, "Now I'm the evil Grinch, and I'm getting hate mail." But who?
So they wanted it?
But somebody pranked this guy. It was a prank, I guess, right?
Yeah, so like somebody pretended to be the actual owner.
Right.
Like, so it wasn't the painter's fault. He thought that it was the owner.
I don't know. That's weird, man.
That's a weird
That's
prank,
a
though.
weird, wacky Friday story. But let's get to Missy Elliott. She's helping dreams come true for a bride to be on a tight budget by covering the cost of the wedding dress she's been eyeing. That's nice. Now that's more Fri-Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ariana Bradshaw getting married in March, but she and her fiance Roderick Purdy also trying to move into their own place while planning the wedding, and the costs were piling up. So Ariana shared that she found her dream dress, a beautiful floral style from David's Bridal, for $1,300, but she couldn't really afford it.
Aww.
The rapper saw this, congratulated Irina, but also followed up with a message saying, "Your dress is now paid." Sure enough, Ariana tells us she was in a restaurant with her mom when she saw Missy, sent the money in full, and she broke down in tears. Irina says Missy's been an inspiration for a long time, one who helped her love herself and be open to love. She says without the financial gift, she would have had to settle for a simple white dress. Ariana says Missy literally made it possible for me to have my dream dress and be confident on the most precious day in my life. I think that's really
amazing.
Nice because, you know,
more of that.
You only
on the
get married one time for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and
for the first time.
For the first time, you only get married one time for the first time, right? And that's a very special day, right?
Yeah.
It will, and for you at some point, right? It will be a special day too. You would want a special dress. I'm not talking to you, Yo-Yo. I'm talking to.
I'm saying absolutely for her.
I thought you were saying yes. I want a special dress.
No.
Well, Yo-Yo already knows he's gonna be a guest there. He's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna see the dress. I'm gonna see it. I'm sure.
Right. I think that's an amazing story, though.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is very funny. A guy got invited to his high school reunion, but he decided to hire a male model to go as him, as this very handsome guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a man identified by Vice News only as Steven. He was a struggling musician living in Baltimore, came up with a solution to feeling insecure about attending his high school reunion. He hired a very attractive lookalike. When Steven received an email invitation to his 10-year high school reunion, he didn't really want his old school peers to think he failed. Luckily, he spotted an online advertisement for Oba.com, which enables you to order a lookalike of yourself. Steven sent off the following request. I want to send a hotter, more successful lookalike to my 10-year high school reunion. Steven supplied his lookalike with 3 objectives. First, to convince everybody that he, Steven, is a cool, successful musician. 2, establish himself as one of the cool kids by befriending Jesse, the most popular guy in school. And 3, charming Steven's high school crush, Katie, and then asking her out to the prom. No, not asking her out to the prom. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's hilarious.
Aaron indeed attended the reunion and met and talked to cool kid Jesse, who greeted him by saying, "Steven Fastu, I knew it. Good to see you. You're looking good these days," before they traded career success stories. But then things went south with Katie. Steven's old crush turned up. She took one look at Aaron and declared, "You're not Steven." Before he
What?
could be outed, Aaron picked up his guitar and yelled for the music at the reunion to be cut. He declared, "You all know me as a saxophone player, but here's something you've never seen before," and launched into a guitar solo as the room fell
Get
silent.
outta here.
This is crazy. So you'd think this would impress everyone, right? But it turns out this was not the case. One attendee was heard saying, "Where the hell's the real Steven? This is a bummer. I really love to see him." The people in the room were angry about the trick, and they wanted to see Steven because they missed him. So the moral of the story is maybe Steven wasn't as invisible as he thought in high school. It sounds like a movie, doesn't it? Doesn't this sound like a movie? This sounds like a really good movie, stupid movie, right?
It does.
Starring
You
Vince
had me engaged the
Vaughn.
entire time.
Right? Like, you feel like Vince Vaughn's going to be in this movie, like with that blonde guy, you know? I don't know.
Right.
From, what's his name, you know, from Wedding
You
Crashers.
talking about?
Owen Wilson, yeah. Sounds
Owen
like,
Wilson.
yeah, sounds
Modest is laughing
sounds like Owen Wilson, like, you know,
on
it's like,
YouTube.
That does. But that was a nice story, though. Like, I mean, I hope that he does realize, you know, he was actually loved by his friends, and his actual crush knew that it went down once his crush came. She was like, "You ain't Steven."
meanwhile.
But I mean, also 10 years is not too long. Like, if you were saying 20-year reunion, then I'm like, okay.
Right.
But like 10,
I
you're
was
still
thinking
gonna look the same years ago.
Yeah, you look exactly the same. Like when I went to my 10-year
I was
reunion,
thinking
I
that.
knew who everybody was. But then when I went to my 30-year reunion, I couldn't remember anybody's names. And I said, why am I even here?
Why even here?
Why am I even here?
Right, when you said that, I'm like, oh, I'm surprised you'd even attend that one.
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately.
Not unfortunate. Why?
Because I didn't remember anybody's names so long ago.
Right, it's the
You know
10-year one. Like,
do you
I had
know
my
how many
10-year
people
reunion
I've
last
met
year.
since high school? But what's really weird, what I find the strangest is high school was such a short period of time in your life. It's only 4 years. And why, you're like best friends with these people for 30 years. I just lived the last 4 years of my life, and, should I have a reunion with the people that I just met with for the last, 4 years?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
I've known you for 3 years.
Okay, so one more year, Yo-Yo. We're gonna add Vanessa. We're gonna have a reunion.
Yes.
All right, finally, in Georgia, police jailed a woman accused of pretending to be an FBI agent to score a free meal at Chick-fil-A. Kimberly Ragsdale of Dallas allegedly threatened to arrest restaurant workers if they didn't serve her a complimentary chicken meal. Ragsdale was charged with impersonating a public officer following repeated attempts to get the free meals at the local Dallas Chick-fil-A.
Repeated attempts.
I'm gonna come in. Yo, you should try that. You should walk into Shake Shack right here. Or no, you like In-N-Out Burger. Right? You should walk right into In-N-Out Burger in California and say, excuse me, Agent Yo-Yo. Everyone's getting arrested here right now unless I get a free cheeseburger. Can you imagine somebody does that?
Listen, if you agreed to be my lawyer just in case, I'm doing it.
Employees of the restaurant told investigators that Ragsdale showed up at the location multiple times during the week and posed as a federal agent while driving a white minivan, and also threatened to take the employees into custody if they didn't comply. All right, that's ridiculous. All right, so that's our Fri-Yay for today. But in today's Braducation, I answer the question, what is a bona fide marriage? Let's watch. Everybody always asks me, what's a bona fide marriage? Well, a bona fide marriage is a marriage where you live in the same home as your spouse every day and you have a financial relationship with them. What's a financial relationship? You have the same bank account, a joint bank account, and the money you earn and the money your spouse earns goes in that bank account, and from that bank account you pay all your bills, including your joint tax returns. Voila, bona fide marriage. All right, so we're going to do something we like to call You Got a Question. I'm going to give you an answer. You're getting answers to your immigration questions. Let's go to Fabian in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Fabian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
What's going on?
No, my 2-year green card is about to expire. I got it through the marriage, so I don't know what form do I need to file next for the extension of my 10-year green card.
I-751.
I-751.
Yes.
Okay, so I can call you guys for tomorrow so I can make an appointment with anybody.
Yes,
okay.
you can. Hold on 1 second. I know the form. Speak to Fiona. Let's go to Mary in Fort Worth, Texas. Mary. Hi, Mary. 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 Going once, Mary. Going twice, Mary. Going 3 times. We have to say goodbye to Mary. All right. Hopefully Mary will come back. They say Mary's back now. Let's try Mary one last time. Mary, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Now I hear you. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, so my husband already has his fingerprints appointment this coming week. And my question is, will a traffic ticket will affect him on the case?
No.
Or
There's no such rule that says bad driver, you get deported, you don't get a green card, you can't come to America. There's no bad driver rules.
Okay.
So he'll be good. Don't worry.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to John in Brooklyn. John.
Yes, hello?
Hi, how are you?
Listen, I have my religious worker case approved, and I have my social
your
security.
What case approved?
Religious worker,
Religious worker. Got it.
Yes. So they allow me to have a social security number.
When you say you have your religious worker case approved, you're talking about an R visa or you're talking about the I-360?
The R1. The R1.
R1. Okay. And are you a minister, a pastor? What do you do?
Yeah, a minister.
You're a minister. Okay. All right. So now you're on the R1, and how long have you been here in the United States?
That was in July 2019.
Okay.
2019.
So now you're coming up on a year and a half.
Yes.
Okay. And your question is what?
My question is, am I allowed to work for other organization or institutions?
No, you can't.
I can't.
You cannot. For 2 reasons. One, you got sponsored. One, you got sponsored by a specific organization to go work in that organization. And so when you have an R visa or an H visa or an L visa or any work visa, you're only allowed to work for the people who sponsored you. And on top of it, you're a minister. You have taken a dedication. You have dedicated your life to God and ministry. And that is why you got an R visa. You now can't turn around and say, all right, I'm going to go work at Home Depot.
Okay. And my second question is, my wife has a social security number because she was in the same case as me. Is she allowed to work?
No. You can't work as
She's not.
No. What you would need to do is in another 6 months apply to adjust your status based on your ministry. From your religious organization, you're going to apply for an I-360, and then ultimately after the I-360 gets approved, if you use that I-360, people say, I-360, isn't that VAWA? Yes, but it's also religious worker. It's also for a SIDG. It's used for a lot of different types of cases, but you're going to file an I-360, get your religious worker case approved, then you're going to file an adjustment for you and your wife, and then she'll get a work permit and be able to work.
Yeah, do you know how long the I-360
They take
to get approved?
They take a while because there's an investigation to make sure that you're working truly as a minister and you're not doing anything else. So they do take a while because the government actually goes to each particular religious organization to make sure that there's no fraud involved.
Okay.
All right, but that's the process, and as a minister, it's your job is dedicated to God. That's your job. No other job. All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Shahab in Baltimore. Shahab.
Hi there. First of all, I'd like to thank you for taking the time and answering the question. And I submitted my citizenship application in mid of September 2020, but so far I did not get the notice for biometric appointment. Is there anything I can do about it?
I wouldn't worry about it because most likely they're using your biometrics that they already have on file. So what USCIS is doing during COVID is if they have old biometrics, because your fingerprints never change, they just using your old biometrics and then running them again.
The problem is that it's my green card application actually gets back to 2012. So do you think still they can use it?
Yeah, I think, as long as they take your biometrics back in 2012, they're going to use it.
Okay, perfect. Right. Thank you so much.
All right, good luck.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right. Let's go to Marcia in Amarillo, Texas. Marcia.
Hello.
How are you?
Good evening. I just called to ask you to do my biometric the 16th of September. When could I hear something?
Biometrics for what?
For my 10-year green card.
You filed an adjustment or an I-751?
Adjustment.
Okay. And you've been married for more than 2 years now?
Yeah.
And when did you file your adjustment?
Oh, I filed it in about April last year.
Okay. You filed it a year ago?
Yeah.
Did you get your work permit?
Yeah.
When did you get your work permit?
Okay, I get it the 26th of May 2018.
So where do you live? You live in Amarillo, Texas?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know what the processing time in Amarillo, Texas is off the top of my head, but generally speaking, you should be getting an interview very shortly. A year out, you should be getting one.
Hello?
Hello, yes. I just told you my answer. Did you hear anything I said?
Okay.
All right, hold on. Just go back and watch. You can call and say, when am I going to get it? I don't have the slightest idea. I can just tell you generally about a year or so. But I don't know whether you did your case right or wrong. A lot of times people say, I filed it a year and a half ago. And then it turns out, yeah, you filed it, but you filed it incorrectly. So they kept sending it back with RFEs. So the case never left the starting gate until a year later. So I don't know necessarily when you're going to get it. I don't know how you did your case. But if you did everything perfect, figure about a year from now. A year from the time you file properly. Let's go to Addie in Baltimore. Addie.
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir? Happy New Year. I'm glad to speak with you. I got a quick question.
Yes.
And I'll be happy to be using you as my hands on it because I've been following you on YouTube.
Thank you.
My I-485 is in out of processing time, and every time I submit inquiry, what the immigration always get back to me is due to workload factors, not related to my case.
Where you from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
No, originally.
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. And how long has your case been pending?
I've filed since 2018.
You need to file a mandamus.
Okay, that's why
you're about the second or third person from Baltimore, Maryland, from Nigeria. It's interesting that I've spoken to in the last week. From Nigerians who live in Baltimore, Maryland, whose cases for adjustment have been pending for 3.5 years. I'm telling them all the same thing, mandamus. But it's very interesting. It seems to be a pattern that I just caught on in the last couple of days.
And the funniest thing is I haven't received my work authorization.
Never?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you get your, maybe you screwed up the case then? Because you should have got a work permit after 3 years, for sure.
Yes, sir. I believe so because they gave me a new IOB receipt number with a new saying they changed my I-765 receipt number, and the new IOB receipt number said it's been processed.
So let's have a consultation then, because there's something wrong somewhere. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Kadian in Baltimore, Maryland. Kadian.
Hello?
Hi, Kadian.
Hi. I can hear you.
You can hardly hear me.
Can you hear me now?
Do you hear me now? Better?
I can hear you.
All right, maybe let me just move my microphone.
Can you hear me now, Mr. Bennett?
I always heard you. I never had a problem hearing you. You were the one who told me you couldn't hear me.
Okay.
I've heard you from the beginning. Do you hear me?
So my question is,
I guess so.
Kadian,
talk.
Oh gosh, this is bad.
Let's go to Sharna in Hempstead. Sharna.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Quick question. So for someone who had a VAWA case and then it got canceled because immigration found out that when they were getting their visiting visa, they had lied on the form. They had lied to the immigration officer back in Jamaica. Got your VAWA approved, got your work authorization, and the case got denied. What are the chances of refiling the VAWA case? Since you can prove that you.
Well, there's two things you could do. If there's a fraud, so if you can say that the fraud was part of the abuse by your spouse, meaning that.
No, it was not.
Okay, I'm just giving you so everybody knows. There's two ways to deal with this. One is if the fraud was part of the abuse from the spouse, meaning that you had a relationship with the spouse while you were in Jamaica and he's here and he's the one who was telling you what to do, and that was all part of manipulation and abuse by the spouse, then you don't need a waiver. If it had nothing to do with your spouse, you need a waiver, and you should have been eligible to file a waiver based on hardship to yourself. You shouldn't have to refile again. Did they give you an opportunity to file a waiver?
They said I had 31 days.
And did you do that?
No.
Okay, so then you need to refile again with a waiver. Did you get the I-360 approved, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to file a new adjustment with a waiver.
And they will not, if you do the waiver, you'll get approved? Well, you wouldn't know because you're not there.
Oh, I don't know if you'll get approved, but if you do a waiver, you have a chance to get approved. But as long as you have an I-360, they certainly can't deport you and you can apply for a work permit.
Oh, okay.
All right,
okay.
So hold on one second.
All right.
Let's go to Mohammed in West Palm. Mohammed.
Hey, Brad. Good evening. It's Mohammed from Florida. How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, I barely can hear you. I don't know why.
Not hearing me today. That's so odd.
Okay.
You hear me now? Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you right now.
You do hear me.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I applied for EU visa status July 2018. I did my biometrics on September 2018. Unfortunately, I did not get work permit yet.
Yeah, but you don't get a work permit until your U visa gets approved, and they're like 6-7 years backed up, unless you apply for a work permit based on humanitarian reasons.
Okay, and my second question is what's the consequences? After 3 years, or the processing time will be counted as my continuous stay over here?
What?
I can apply the green card after 3 years.
No.
When is the approved?
It's 3 years after the approval, not 3 years after a pending U visa.
So after approval, then I have to stay continuous 3 years?
Correct.
Oh, that's how it will be. So this time will not be counted before approval, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. By the way, if you didn't get a chance to call me and ask your question, you could always follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein, you can drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. You could also follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. If you follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram, you'll get the best 1-2 minutes of our show. You can't handle 2 hours, or on a pop-up today, an hour. You can handle 2 minutes. Follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa?
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, first one, Bluebird Luck on YouTube. How long will a U.S. visa take?
Which visa?
He's talking, what? Yeah, there's like 10 million of them, man. Come on. I'm being facetious, but yeah, come on.
Freddie Torres on YouTube. I sent my wife waiver I-601A on September 3rd, 2019, and did not respond to what I did.
Say it again.
This person, Freddie Torres on YouTube, says, I sent my wife's waiver an I-601A on September 2019, and it seems like he hasn't gotten a response.
Then he needs to contact the lawyer. I'm not necessarily saying to do a mandamus. I don't like to do a mandamuses on waivers unless they are open and shut approvable, but you definitely should speak to a lawyer.
Okay, Ali Raza on YouTube. I filed a VAWA and got the combo card. Is it safe to travel outside the U.S. with advanced parole? I didn't do the biometrics yet.
Yes, as long as you don't stay out for more than a couple weeks.
Sharna Williams on Facebook. If immigration found out someone lied to them to get a visiting visa and as a result canceled their VAWA case, what are the chances of refiling the VAWA and getting it approved?
You can always file a VAWA, do hardship to yourself for any misrepresentation, as long as you did not get remarried and as long as the VAWA gets filed within 2 years of a divorce.
Okay, KJ on YouTube. My dad ported his priority. Ported? That's right? My dad ported his priority date?
Maybe. Let's hear the rest of it.
Okay, my dad ported his priority date from a long time. His priority date is current. However, a new I-140 was filed as he changed companies. I'm 20 and applying for the 485 with him today. Does CSPA apply?
Yes.
Yolanda Fabian Jalan on Facebook. My 2-year green card is about to expire. What form do I need to file to get my 10-year green card? And I got my green card based on marriage.
I answered this question already. Let's see if you guys were listening.
Did call in, didn't she?
See if the squad was listening. Maybe the squad was listening. You think the squad could give the answer?
I was on a water break, Brad, when
you were on a water
answered
break.
that question.
You were on the water break. Julian says he was in the toilet. He didn't hear it either. Yo, what's your excuse?
Oh, no, I was here. I don't remember it.
Yeah, the I-751.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
There's too many eyes. There's too many eyes, Brad. That was a trick question.
All right. Carol Lord got it.
All right. Mary Young on Facebook. I just had my citizenship interview for naturalization, and I passed it. Would my 15-year-old son be automatically a U.S. citizen?
If he has a green card and he resides with you, yes.
Sharon McLean on Facebook. I am a green card holder and I want to start my citizenship, but I don't file taxes with my husband. And I wanted to know if it's going to be a problem for me.
If it's based on 5 years of a green card, not a problem. If it's based on 3 years, yes.
Karen 1013 on YouTube. I'm doing my VAWA process. My lawyer asked me for 3 letters of recommendation. Is this a good sign that my VAWA will be approved?
That your lawyer asked for a recommendation letter? No, doesn't mean anything.
Karen 1013 on YouTube. I'm doing. Oh wait, Malika Sonomy on YouTube. USCIS has been filed an I-130 plus the I-485 for me concurrently in December of 2019. We just had our AOS interview 3 days ago. I-130 was approved the next day. Is it true that they have 30 days to make a decision on AOS?
They have 120 days by regulation, but they can spend years making a decision until you file a mandamus. So basically, they sit on lots of people's rights. So don't hold on to they have to do it within any period of time.
Okay, HA on YouTube. I'm the beneficiary of an approved petition I-130 F4 visa. The NVC sent me a letter with the PD. But my brother and the petitioner did not receive the approval letter. Should he ask for a duplicate or no?
Well, if you're at the National Visa Center, it doesn't matter. You don't need the I-130 approval as long as the National Visa Center has a record that the case was approved.
Elizabeth Darby on Facebook. When immigration receives your application and sends you a letter I-765 and says, if we submit you to biometrics, we will send you an appointment. What does that mean?
It means you have a receipt for a work permit, and if they want to take your biometrics, they will send you a notice. I love when people say, "What does that mean?" And the meaning was right in
the question.
Right in the question.
I know. As I'm reading the question,
I got a letter that my case is on review. What does that mean? It means your case is on review.
Case is on review.
Yeah. Okay. Aline Hamilton on Facebook. If you withdraw your citizenship in 2020, how long would you have to wait before refiling a citizenship? Also,
You could. There's no requirement that you have to wait a period of time before refiling. You just want to make sure there's a reason why you withdrew it, and you probably because you didn't qualify. You just want to make sure you qualify for citizenship. That's all. But there's no law that says if you withdraw citizenship, you can't file for X amount of time. You can refile the next day as long as you qualify.
Okay. Also, do you think Joe Biden will amnesty? I know you answered that yesterday, but.
I answered it yesterday, but I didn't ask the magic 8 ball.
Right.
Magic 8 ball. Pumpkin's gone in 5 days. We got Joe Biden. Kamala Harris did an interview last week that said, and she used the word amnesty. Everybody's freaking out there's going to be an amnesty. Will there be an amnesty, Magic 8 ball? And I am telling you, Magic 8 ball says it is certain.
Ooh.
I just read it as I read it.
That's a big claim.
That is a big claim. Magic 8 ball does not usually say that. Magic 8 ball said it is certain there will be an amnesty.
I'm looking at you, Brad, like, we want to take that.
But that's what
Magic 8 ball.
That's what the Magic 8 ball said. So if you believe in Magic 8 ball,
then it's certain.
Believe in that amnesty.
Then it is that it is certain.
We have Bradley Broderick on YouTube. I have been married to a U.S. citizen for over 6 years now. I was granted withholding of removal in 2012. What should I do?
Try to get an I-130 approved and then and hopefully be able to adjust your status and reopen your case. If you're eligible to adjust.
Ritz and Ray on YouTube. Can the employer file a I-140 pending receipt of approval of the I-797?
The I-140 is the I-797 for what? I-797 is a receipt notice for what? I'm not sure. We need more information. All right, 2 more, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Aline Hamilton on Facebook. If you withdraw your citizenship, how long should you wait to reapply back?
Asked and answered, ma'am. Yo-yo.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple of them that's the same on here. So, Top Wife Carrie on Instagram. My kids did their interview back in November last year. The embassy requested more documents and we sent them and we're notified they received them. But they have yet to receive their visas so they can travel to the U.S. I emailed the embassy in Kingston, Jamaica, countless times and no response. I even called NVC, but they can't give me any answers as to the status of my kid's case. Can you help me to understand what's going on with the embassy and process visa application after the interview is done?
There's a Trump proclamation. There's a pumpkin in the White House. There's coronavirus. There's closed embassies. There is shortage of staff because of budget cuts. There's a general malaise amongst the State Department and USCIS because of all the horrible things that Donald Trump did. And you add it all up, and that's why your kid don't got no visa. Yeah. Excuse my bad grammar. All right, Vanessa, last one. Give us a good
D37.
Give us a good one.
Hope so.
All right.
Little Miss D37 on Instagram. The 11th of next month is a year since my interview. After the anniversary, I would like to file or threaten a mandamus. How much is it going to cost?
$10 trillion, quadrillion dollars. There are so many zeros after the 10. Joe Biden couldn't give enough stimulus checks. I don't know what it's going to cost. Come on. How would I know how much it's going to cost? You need to speak with me. We got to figure out what needs to be done. All right. Yo, what do you got?
Yes. All right, squad. In today's attorney close-up, Spar and Bernstein partner and immigration attorney Shannon Laguerre-Mangret tells us how you can help your attorney get you the best results.
One way a client can make a case much easier for an attorney is by telling the truth. I emphasize that all the time. I don't know how many situations I've had where a client decided not to tell the truth, And if they had told the truth, I would have been able to assist them and actually be able to get either their green card or be able to keep them in the country. I think it's so imperative to be able to be honest with your attorney, to explain to them even things that you may think is not important, but explain it to them. If you've been arrested, you should tell your attorney that. I had a case not too long ago where the client didn't think it would show up because she had already done her fingerprints. And of course it showed up when we went into the interview. So again, it's really important to be very honest with your attorney so they might be able to assist you in being able to get the best result for you.
All right, it's the end of the week. It's a Fri-Yay. Let's try to leave happy. 9 questions. I'm going to try to answer in 50 seconds. It's the fastest 50 seconds on the internet where you get information with 9 different pieces of information in 50 seconds. Pretty fast, huh? Is this the fastest 50 seconds on the internet, Yo-Yo and Vanessa?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yo-Yo. Unmuted. Muted. Not muted. Okay, I'll start it. But, I mean, I want him to follow. Did we lose him?
Me and you. It's a tango.
Oh.
We're going to tango.
Okay. All right. I didn't hear you for a second. Now you're back. Okay.
All
right. I'm ready for this.
No, we're ready? Let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
Can DACA recipients travel out of the U.S.?
No.
Can I travel state to state with advanced parole?
You don't even need advanced parole. You just travel.
What form do I file for a 10-year green card?
I-751.
Do I need the I-212 after I'm in the U.S.?
No, that's a waiver.
Can I travel in the U.S. with an AOS receipt and passport?
Yes.
Can I get an I-20 without a high school diploma?
No.
How long to get terminated letter if I didn't file for 10-year green card?
A few months.
Do I pay off legal fees before I get my green card?
With my law firm, you do.
Can I get a passport stamp waiting for 751 extension?
Yes.
Done.
Da 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 da.
It takes 2 to tango.
All right, Vanessa, excellent job. Yeah, by the way, I get a free Egg McSandwich, I think Julian was giving me there. By the way, to answer your question, DACA recipients cannot travel with DACA, but because that was the question, but a DACA recipient can apply for advanced parole if they have a business need or they're going for school. But not for pleasure. Do we have a yo-yo? We don't. All we have, yo-yo has turned into a rainbow. All right, Vanessa. I've turned into a rainbow now. All right, Vanessa, I'm going to leave it all up to you. Comments of the day, Vanessa. Comments of the day.
Okay. Our first comment of the day comes from Abarun Jimo, and they say, when you run into bottleneck in your immigration issues, call on the experts, Brad and Co, to straighten it up.
That's right. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Next one comes from Tanya Love. Thank God it's Friday to everyone online. Big up squad family.
All right. Big up to you, Tanya.
That Fri-Yay energy.
Yeah.
Okay. And our last comment of the day comes from Melanie Abioli Alien, and they say, tune into the best show, Brad Show Live, where you get all your immigration questions answered and lots of love. The best show in the world. Enough love to Brad, Jonathan, and Vanessa and team. We love you guys. Love you too, squad.
By the way, oh, there he is.
Oh,
Yo-yo.
Look at the trifling.
Yo-yo, I'm very
trifling
trifling that when it came time to the speed round, you just disappeared.
Right, you just disappeared.
You know, isn't that
Someone
very?
didn't want to blow up.
Yeah.
Did we get it?
Yes, we did. Isn't that very coincidental?
Sus.
Huh? Very, very coincidental. Very
I'm gonna have to
coincidental.
bring in my lawyer.
Yeah.
Spectrum is. I need the toilet sound. Spectrum is straight.
Spectrum down the toilet, right?
I'm so mad. I knew that we were gonna get it too.
By the way, I don't know what Julian ate today, but man, don't eat that again, Julian. All right, he's been flushing that toilet the whole show.
Since before we started the show.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on in this studio, but
I was about to say, how's it smell in the studio?
Oh, God. Come on, Julian, man. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.